Okay, so our plan for today is to show good practice. Because we've been playing with this Postman collection right here, and we said that we can save it, but we haven't done that.
Yeah, so I think it's a good idea to actually see how that's done and see how to put it on GitHub without screwing up whatever we have already.
Yeah.
So
we'll see the process from end to end on how you can start a new feature or bug fix or something you want to work on your project. You want to start with that, work on it, and then see it appear in the final version of the project.
Yeah.
So currently what we have here in Postman is this collection that has a bunch of requests. 2 of them get to-do items, which returns a list of to-do items, and create new to-do item, which works as this button right here.
Yeah, the plus button.
Yeah.
This is what we did by the end of the last episode.
Yes, exactly. But we haven't saved this collection yet. And the way to save it is to come here and export. And note that this is a JSON file. So remember that we were using JSON as the protocol between the server and the client. Well, it also happens to be a good storage format.
It's a good data format in general, not just interchange, just keeping stuff in one place. You're able to identify what data is there and what's related to each other. I think it's a good, generally good practice to use JSON for data.
Yeah, and in this case, it's important to see the difference between the JSON that is in the request, or actually in the response, and the JSON that is being saved here. They are both in the same format, but they are completely different things. Yeah, and I'm going to use the latest version.
Look at that as well if you can. Look at the JSON.
Oh yeah, we will. We can. So here I have a JSON file to save, and I'll put it in the project, and I think it's under my home and idea project, TODOOSE, and where do we put this?
I think adding an extra folder, resources.
Documentation. Ideal. I think it's part of documentation. How about that?
Fair.
And then save. So the collection was exported, and here in IntelliJ, there is going to be a new folder and a new file, I expect. Right?
Should be. I'm guessing you have to refresh the project.
I don't know.
That's all.
Synchronize? Completed. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's what you need. Yeah. Some sort of a refresh.
So we can see now that there is this new file, JSON, and we can open this file and we can see, and it's in JSON format.
Yeah.
It has the braces and the keys and everything.
Yep.
But it's
vastly different.
Than what it is Postman's thing to record all the things we created.
Yep.
And now we have this new file that we can put in version control.
Yes. We should push inversion control here. It's critical to share this across different people.
And to do this, let's go to version control. And I could just come here and commit, like we did last time.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, we don't want to be using this main timeline for everything. So coming back to my analogy of games, the way I like to think about this is that I said that I save all the time.
Yeah.
But I am also, I want to get the gameplay perfect. So I jump from a platform, I save. I jump from another platform, I save. But also if I decide, I'm going to explore this dungeon.
Yeah.
I create a new branch.
Yeah, exactly.
I will explore the dungeon. And if it goes fine, then
you can continue on it and bring it back to your main save state. Exactly.
But if it turns out that there is a big dragon and I'm way underprepared to kill the dragon.
You're screwed.
I get killed all the time, so I can just reverse to the save point.
Save state.
And then continue from there.
Yeah.
And that's what we are going to do. So we are going to create this new exploration thing to go into the dungeon. And so there is this new file here, and what we can do is come here to version control system and Git and branches. Branches are these different exploration ideas that we were talking about. And currently there is only one branch that is master, like the main gameplay.
Yep. That's what you'd release if you wanted to release software, or that's the main thing that everyone is looking at. That's if you open GitHub, that's the first thing you see.
Exactly. If you come here to GitHub, that's a great point. You can see that we are on the master branch.
Yep, exactly.
And I didn't have to do any work. That's by default.
Yeah.
So coming back to IntelliJ, we can create a new branch to explore this new idea of
Postman
API,
collection.
Postman collection. Fine, Postman collection.
Yep.
Okay. Now we have a new branch, and we can commit to that branch.
Yeah. So let's actually add and commit.
Yes. So here I can check the files that are unversioned.
Yeah.
There's only one, the Postman collection, and this is add Postman collection with get
and
items and create new item. And I should see somewhere where I am committing, but I don't. So I suppose I am committing to the right branch.
Yeah, you're already on the branch, so you're committing there.
Great. So the file is now committed.
Yeah.
And I can push this the same way we did before. Commit to Git, push. And I am pushing to origin. Remember that origin is what we are calling GitHub.
Yeah.
We are calling GitHub origin. From my computer's perspective, origin is GitHub.
Yes. And Postman collection is the branch, so you did it right, actually.
Yes. Postman collection is the name of the branch. Note that it's new.
Yes.
It doesn't
have
appear.
It doesn't appear here because it doesn't have any commit on GitHub that's separate from the master. We've just created it locally right now.
Yes. This is a big point for me. It's my pet peeve. When people walk up to me and they say, oh, I have this problem with GitHub on my machine. GitHub is not working correctly on my machine. Forget about it. Git is not working on your machine. GitHub is on the cloud. It's a different thing.
Yes.
It's a service owned by Microsoft.
Yep. Git and GitHub are two very different things.
You can use Git without GitHub.
Yes.
But you cannot use GitHub without Git.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we are pushing this. And you can see that it's connecting to GitHub and pushing. And now if I come to GitHub and refresh, I don't even need to refresh.
You can already see it.
Yeah, it's saying that something was pushed. Then I need to refresh to see the branch on the list. It appears here now.
Yep. So let's actually go to the branch and see what happened.
Yeah, that's excellent. Here we can see that there is no documentation folder.
Yes.
But there is in the Postman collection branch.
Yes.
The folder is right there.
Yep. And it shows your new commit, add Postman collection with get items and create new items as well.
Yes. This is the commit that introduced this file.
Yes.
Excellent. With that, we can come here and create a pull request.
Yeah.
And the pull request is a way for me to communicate to everyone else that I want to have this merged into the main timeline, into master.
Any feature that you've written or any bug fix or anything that you write for your project or for any other repository, you actually do it on a branch, you push it to GitHub on that branch, and then you ask for a pull request to be merged into master so that everything else on the on master does not break.
Yes.
That's right.
The idea here is to keep master safe. Master is always ready to deploy, to
show off, version, tag, anything, I don't know.
Yeah, master is always ready. And if I'm going to a dungeon to explore and see what's there, I create a branch. And when I see that I killed the dragon, it's fine. Like in this case, we created the Postman collection and it was fine. Then we can create a pull request to show this to everyone else.
Yes.
And usually you would write what you tried to do and how it worked out, the alternatives you explored and why it didn't work out. But in this case, I didn't provide any description.
It's very simple here, so we don't need.
Yeah. And when I create this pull request, I don't have to merge it right away. I mean, people are going to look at my code here, see what changed, and they're going to say, oh, don't call it get to do items, call it something else. And
you actually have the option of review changes here. Whoever is the owner or like whoever has merge access can actually look at the change and say, okay, this is what you need to do, and then go ahead with it. I'm
going to do that thing that people do in social networks and be awkward and like my own comment. And I'm going to say that looks good to me. So I'm reviewing my own pull request, which is kind of insane, but for the...
And you can also, so there's multiple options here. actually that GitHub came out with a little while ago. Like you're doing commenting right now, that's fine, but you can also approve. That doesn't mean that it gets merged automatically, but that the whoever, like if you're a reviewer of a repository, then whoever has access to merge it looks at your approval and knows that okay, it's safe to merge it.
Awesome. And ideally, you would do that in a group project. You would have someone else review your pull requests. But for the sake of demonstration, I'm reviewing my own, so GitHub is smart enough to tell me that, no, sir, don't be awkward. So I'm just going to comment. And so it becomes a conversation, and you can see how things are evolving. If someone asks for a change, I can do some more work on this branch. I can create other files or edit this file and move on with this pull request and
you can
change
commit
things
to that same branch, and that pull request gets updated there, and then it can be merged. So one of the options that you had with comment and request, comment and approve was also request change. Like you can explicitly ask people, okay, this does not look right, please change it.
Yes, and there are several ways to do this. You can do it on a line-by-line basis.
Which I like a lot.
So
with huge code bases, it's a problem, but generally I like.
And we will give you feedback on your project in your group projects using this kind of thing. So when you reach a consensus and everyone is happy with the change, then you can come here to merge the pull request. So we'll do that right now. And let's see what happens both here on GitHub and on my computer. So first on GitHub, you can come here to code, and you'll see that now on the master branch, there is the documentation. It's there now. It wasn't there before, it is there now.
There's actually 2 commits added here. One from the pull request itself, that is you added the documentation at Postman collection, and another that is the merging commit itself.
Yes, we keep doing that with our hands. So here is a visual...
an actual demonstration of it.
Here is a visual illustration. Well, I guess all illustrations are visual. Anyway.
Pictorial.
Here is an illustration of how this works. So we had that initial commit, then we went into the Postman collection dungeon, and then when we were happy with the results, we merged that back into the main timeline on the top. That is called master in black. And with that, I guess we can delete this branch, right?
Yes, but I think we should actually pull locally and then go on to deleting it from GitHub.
Fair. Okay, so let's go to my machine to switch to another branch, git branches, and come back to master. Checkout. That's what Git calls go into another branch, checkout. So now I am on the master branch. And you can see that I don't see documentation here. Well, why? Let's look at the log. The log here is different from the log here on GitHub. First, it's different because this one is vertical and this one is horizontal, but also it's different because master is right here. I wish I could show you all of this side by side. Perfect. So master is right here.
So if you just select a different branch,
like so?
If you can just show master, then you see only one commit.
It's this one. And that's because things happened in GitHub, but I don't see them on my machine. I haven't downloaded the things yet. And this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to revert to see all, because I want to see the whole history the same way that I'm seeing the whole history here. I can come here to version control system and git and pull. Which is going to GitHub from, in this case, it's called origin on my machine, getting all the changes and putting them on my computer. And now, when I do this,
something came up.
It's giving me a log of what happened. But I can see a graph here that looks like the one on GitHub. So it's all synchronized now. And also the file appears here. Documentation is now.
That is like critical. Just look for the file first, and then you can see the graph.
It's all good.
Yes.
Okay, now we can delete the branch, right?
Yes.
On GitHub, that's easy to do. I can come here to the pull request.
Pull request,
that at this point is closed.
So it just doesn't give you a notification, but it's there. Similarly with issues.
In fact, we are going to look at your closed pull requests by the end of each iteration to see what you worked on.
What you actually did.
So I can come here to the pull request. And it keeps a history of the development of the whole project.
Everything you do. Everything.
And
that's the best
branch.
And like worst part of it, to be honest.
Delete branch.
Yeah.
So now the branch is gone. I can come here to the graph we were looking at before.
Internet is surprisingly slow.
It is. Okay, so now we don't see any Postman collection branch. It's gone. The history is still the same. Just that pointer that was here is now gone.
Yeah. You can still restore it if you go back to that pull request.
Yes.
Just you don't need to.
Yeah.
That's the point.
You just don't want to have 1,000 different branches after you worked on many.
Yes. It is important to always clean up after this. Like whenever you're done and you've merged something, delete the branch. If you try something and it fails, revert and delete the branch.
Yes.
Don't keep a mess in your repository.
Yes. So now we want to do something similar here. We have this Postman collection branch, and to be honest, I don't know how to do this.
I have no idea either. I'm guessing branches itself. And yeah, you can just click on that, not that, and delete. Yes.
Awesome.
That was easier than I thought.
And delete tracked branch.
Yes, that basically says that it will delete it from, delete it from the remote itself. But I think we've done it.
No, I don't think that's what this is doing. I think what this is doing is deleting this thing called origin/Postman collection, which is my local notion
of what GitHub has.
Of what GitHub looks like.
Okay.
Of course, my local notion is out of sync.
Yeah.
So it's fine for me to delete these.
Yeah.
And then after this works out, this should go away.
Yeah.
And it went away.
Yes.
Perfect. So with that, we have saved a collection. We have created a branch.
Created a pull request.
Committed to that branch. Created a pull request. Approved.
Yeah. And
reviewed and approved that pull request.
Yes.
And then synced everything back
to master.
To our machine here.
Yeah.
And into master. So
this
is the workflow.
Yeah, that's one iteration of adding a feature to your project, basically.
And
like
in one of
that's the workflow you need.
Yes, and you can do that for a single thing, like one Postman collection change, or you can do that for a bigger thing if you need.
Yeah.
But yeah, in your group projects, you're going to work in iterations. I think there are going to be 6 iterations throughout the semester.
Yeah.
But this workflow, you're going to do it many times during one iteration.
Yeah. Last semester, there were groups that had like 100 branches. I encourage you, please delete your branches. I don't want to see 100.
Yeah, just keep everything tidy, but do it often. Do this workflow often.
Yes.
It may seem like, it took us like 20 minutes to do it this once, but if you get the hang of it, it's like 5 things you have to click and you're good.
Yeah, that's all. Actually, when we're doing this, it takes us a couple of minutes.
Yes.
That's why.
All right, so I think this is a session for now.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
And on the next one, we are going to do some real work.
Write code for this.
Write code for this. All right, see you.